Hello children, welcome back to science class. Every day we handle and we use several objects. These objects, they are different from each other and they have certain characteristics. Some of the characteristics of some objects are same. These objects can be grouped. The process of grouping of objects into certain categories is called classification. Today, let us study about the classification and its importance. So matter, on this earth, all the substances, they are called as matter because they have certain characteristics. They have mass and occupy space. So mass and occupying space, these two characteristics are common to all the objects on this earth, all the materials on this earth. All together, they are all called as matter. Then what is material? Material is also matter from which something is or can be made. Is called material. For example, the wood. Wood is a material. So from the wood we can make the bench, desk, table, scale, etc. So wood is a material. And what about the objects? Objects means from the wood whatever we are doing, they are called as objects. And objects, they are classified on the basis of certain characteristics. Which are those? On the basis of appearance, hardness, transparency, shape, texture, color, state, edible, etc. So in our day-to-day life, we use the edible substances. All the plant products, we are using them as eatable substances, so they are called as edible. And other substances, they are not edible. In the same way, the state. So matter exists in three states, already I have learned. And what about the color? Objects are different in their color. They may be red, they may be yellow, they may be white. On the basis of the color, we can classify the objects or the materials. Then texture. So outer surface of any matter is called as texture. On the basis also we can classify the objects. Then shape. So objects, they may have rounding shape or rectangular shape or cuboid in shape or the cone shape or cylindrical in shape. The chalk piece, it is in cylindrical in shape. And the balls, all type of balls, they are round in shape. It may be the basketball or it may be volleyball, the football, shot put, and the earth and even globe also, they are spherical in shape. And the transparency. Transparency means the substance which allows light to pass through them. Like that we can classify. Then hardness. Some objects are very hard. So like this we can classify the substance. Now let us study about some of the classification of substances. So now let us study about some of the materials and objects. Here the metals, they are the materials. From the metals we can make several objects such as nail, hammer, tools, drain pipes, wires, utensils, etc. This is because metals have certain characteristics. Metals are very hard and they can be beaten into sheets, they can be drawn into wires, and they are good conductor of heat and electricity. Because of this hardness, we can make the nail and the hammer with the help of metals such as iron. And the tools such as cutting plier, screwdriver are made out of metals. And the drain pipes, because we can make the pipes out of metals such as iron. And even wires also. Wires means, so in the cables as well as electric wires, there is a metallic wire is there. These metallic wires, they are made out of copper and aluminium. This copper and aluminium, they are used in the electric wires because they are very good conductor of electricity. And the utensils, in our houses, we are using different utensils. This is because metals are very good conductor of heat. The next one is the plastic. Plastic is another one important material. From this material we can make several objects. This is because plastic has some good qualities. Plastic can be molded into any shapes and we can give the color also. We can make the objects attractive. So you are all using the toys. These toys are made out of plastics because we can give any shape. And even there are several substances made out of metals also. The spare parts of computers and other substances and other gadgets, they are all made out of plastic because we can mold this at any shape. And the scales what we are using, the scale is a transparent one and we can use the marking on it also. The buckets, mugs, this is because bucket it holds water. The plastic has a good quality, a good property. It is called as the holding. It holds water. We can't make the mug or the bucket by using the fibers like cotton fiber or the silk fibers because they can't hold water. And the bags also be made out of plastic. Even tables, chairs, they are made out of plastic because they have little hardness. But usage of plastic is not good. They may spoil the nature, especially thin plastic sheet. It is better to avoid use those. Instead of that, we have to use the cloth bags and other containers wherever it is necessary. We can use. Otherwise, we have to use the metal containers. The glass is another one of the important material. From the glass, we can make tumbler, vase, bulbs, decorative pieces, utensils, etc. Because glass does not react with any other substances. So it has an attractive look. And the glass is a transparent object. Because of this one, it is used to make bulbs also. And nowadays, utensils are also made out of glass. Even glass jars are available. These glass jars, it holds the substances. And the paper is another material. Paper can be made into thin sheets and we can write and we can draw it or you can print on it. Because of that good quality, we are using paper in the manufacture of newspapers and the bags, the notebooks, books, calendar, etc. So these books you are writing on the notebook. This is because we can use the white color to this paper and with the help of pen and pencil you can write on this paper. The wood is also another one of important material because wood has some certain good qualities. So it is very hot and we can give any shape. From the wood we can make the bench, desk, stools, table, cot, door, windows, etc. The leather is nothing but in the skin of animals. This leather is used to make belt, the purses, the coat, seat cover, etc. And the fibers, we are wearing the dresses. These dresses are made out of the different fibers. Which are those? Some are natural and some are synthetic. Natural fibers such as cotton, the wool, the silk, and the synthetic such as nylon, rayon, polyester. But for some seasons, we will choose some of the good fibers. For example, for summer season, we like to use cotton fabrics because these cotton fabrics, they allow the body heat to escape and they absorb sweat. During winter season, we like to wear woolen clothes because the wool or woolen fiber does not allow body heat to escape. So we are wearing that one. And the synthetic fibers, they are attractive and they are cheaper and they dry faster. Because of that, we are using those. And the synthetic fibers, they have some bad qualities also. So during summer, we can't wear the synthetic fibers for longer time. The next is the properties of some of the materials. Which are those? Let us see. The first one is lustrous. It means shiny or glowing with light. The some of these materials are the objects, they have this property. So when the light falls on it, it will be reflected. For example, you are wearing the golden necklace or golden jewelries, even silver jewelries also. So these substances or these objects, they shine when the light falls on it. Even the pearls also, even items made out of glass also, they have the property of shining. Means when the light falls on it, it will be reflected. And other substances, they do not shine and they are called as dull objects. These dull objects, they do not shine with the light. So it may be other parts, it may be the rubber things or the wooden things or plastic items or what do you call this rock pieces and other substances. They do not have the good qualities such as shining. They are called as the dull objects. Like this, we can classify the objects into shining and as well as the dull objects. So next characteristic is texture. It means the surface characteristics and appearance of an object. So texture means the surface property of a substance. The first one is smoothness. Smoothness means it is very soft. If you see the picture here, the stone pieces, they are very soft because when water flows, it makes the smoothness to the pieces of rocks or pieces of stones. Here the texture of the cloth, even in the fabrics, we can see the smoothness and as well as roughness. Some fabrics, they have the smooth appearance. It may be silk, it may be linen, it may be synthetic fibers or fabrics made of synthetic fibers. They have smooth appearance. And the smooth solid appearance such as the glasses and even the floors, also the smooth surface. So the next one is roughness. Means the outer surface is, if it is not smooth, it is called as rough. It may be a rough granite floor or sandpaper or any wood surface. Any surface, if it is not what I call the smooth, they are called as rough, and they will not allow the light to reflect, and such objects are called as rough objects. The next property of the objects is the states of matter. All the substances on this earth, they are classified into three main groups. They are solid, liquid and gas. Here the solids, what are the properties of solids? Solids have definite shape and size. Its size and shape cannot be changed easily. Whenever we take, they have this definite shape and size. This is because the molecules or particles present in solids, they are closely packed, and the attraction between this molecule is very great. Because of this reason, we cannot change the shape and size of these solids. So on this earth, whatever the matter is there, which have all these properties, they are called as solids, which have different shape and size. They are all called as solids. The next one is the liquids. And liquids, they do not have definite shape, but they have definite volume. This is because you can see here the diesel, petrol and kerosene. They are the liquid, and as this here the water, milk, juices, they are the liquid, and groundnut oil, coconut oil, they are liquid. This is because molecules, they are loosely arranged, and the attractive force between the molecules is very less. Because of this property, liquids, they do not have definite shape. They take the shape of the container, but they have definite volume. So if you take the 1 liter, it will be 1 liter only. If you put it in another container also, it will be 1 liter only. So their volume cannot be changed. So these are the definite property of liquids. And the third state of matter is the gas. So gases means they do not have definite shape and as well as definite volume. Their volume can be changed. We can increase the volume of gases or we can decrease the volume of gases also. So which are the gases? When we heat the water gets evaporated. So this water vapor, it is nothing but the gaseous state of water. and other gases such as hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide. They are all gases, and these gases, they do not have definite shape and as well as volume. So another property, the hard objects. So hard objects is they cannot be compressed. So here, if you take this wooden piece, we cannot compress it. And here wooden piece we cannot compress. And all the objects which cannot be compressed, they are called as hard objects. They may be made out of wood or the metals or the glass or even plastic also or even other materials also. Here you can see the diamond. Diamond is the hardest substance that is available in the nature. It is the hardest. It cannot be cut with the help of other material. With the help of diamond only we can cut with the diamond only. So like this, we can categorize the object on the basis of this hardness and the smoothness also. Soft objects means they can be compressed. Here there are two objects, so this is called as compression. When I squeeze, we can compress it. So some material, they have this property. When we apply pressure, it will be compressed. Which are those? In the sponge and material made out of sponges, and the what you call the fiber, that is the cotton fiber and even woolen fibers, silk fibers, they have this soft properties, and even some of leather goods, they have some soft properties. Cushion items, cushion chairs and all, they are all having compressible properties, and they are all called as soft objects. So like this, today we have studied some of the properties of objects. They are mainly, so materials can be classified on the basis of the shiny or the dull. Some objects they shine, means the light that falls on it and it will be reflected. So metals, almost all metals, they have this property. But when the metals are exposed, due to reaction between the air, they lose their lustrous property and they become dull also. And some metals such as the gold, the silver and even diamond, they have this lustrous property. So the next one is solid, liquid and gas. The materials can be or objects can be classified on the basis of their arrangement of molecules and basis of their what you call shape and the size. We can classify the matter into or classify the objects into solid, liquid and gas. The next one is hard and the soft substances. Some materials or some objects are very hard, they cannot be compressed. We cannot squeeze those. So materials or objects made out of wooden articles or the metals or the stone, they are very hard, and the diamond is one of the hardest material. And some substances, they can be compressed, they are called as soft objects. They are mainly the sponge objects or materials made out of sponges, and even the fibers such as cotton and other wood fibers, they have soft properties. Like this, we can classify the properties on the basis of their nature. In the next class, let us study about the other properties of objects and how they can be classified. Thank you, children. We will meet in the next class.